Welcome to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where the voices of a small town meet the headlines shaping our world from the front porches and fields of Cedar Valley. We bring you reflections, stories, and questions that matter, connecting real lives to real events for faith and community. Walk hand in hand with today's headlines. This is a Cedar Valley News, sponsored by Readers and Writers Book Club.
Greetings. I'm Teresa Nikas, and I'll be your host for today's Quiet Echo. The property tax crisis no one saw coming. National news carried two quiet stories this week, both easy to overlook unless someone reads with care. In Pennsylvania, a 91-year-old homeowner named Gloria nearly lost her house over a few $1,000s in unpaid property taxes. In Illinois, a retired woman named Velma lost hers entirely after choosing to fix a failing roof rather than pay a rising tax bill. Neither story led a broadcast nor filled a headline banner, yet both reveal a growing truth across the country. Seniors who spent their lives paying off homes now live one tax notice away from losing them. Here in Cedar Valley, folks believe in responsibility, steady work, and doing what needs to be done. Neighbors pay mortgages, keep yards tidy, welcome grandkids with warm meals, and trust the promise that once a home is paid for, the roof overhead stays secure. But stories like Gloria's and Velma's show how fragile that promise becomes when property tax grows faster than a fixed income. National assessments rise when markets rise. Tax bills climb even though Social Security checks don't. Seniors face choices no one imagines in younger years: pay for medicine or pay the tax, patch the roof or risk foreclosure, help a child in crisis or gamble that the county won't take action. These aren't extravagances or luxuries. These are the simple responsibilities of aging that collide with a system designed in another era. Gloria lived in her home for nearly 25 years. The tax debt that nearly cost her the property was around $3,500. Velma's home in Illinois was valued near $180,000, yet she lost it after missing a $6,200 tax payment. Both women honored their responsibilities for decades. Both believed their homes were secure. Both discovered how quickly security can disappear. This isn't mismanagement. It isn't negligence. It's a silent crisis facing people who did everything right, worked long hours, raised families, contributed to their communities, and built savings for retirement. What they didn't expect was that homeownership would turn into a second mortgage that never ends. Cedar Valley has retirees much like Gloria and Velma, people who worked at the school, the mill, the clinic, or the hardware store. They live with quiet dignity, stretching fixed incomes over rising costs, asking for little. The thought of losing the homes they spent decades paying off doesn't show up in their conversations, yet the fear rests close. A society shows its character in how it treats its elders. When seniors risk losing homes over bills smaller than the cost of a water heater, something is out of balance. When people who carried the load for decades cannot depend on the stability they earned, the issue becomes more than financial. It becomes moral. Communities like Cedar Valley can't write national policy, but they can raise a voice strong enough to ask a simple question. How long can a nation ignore a system where seniors pay for homes twice, once in mortgages and once in taxes, only to lose them late in life? If homeownership is meant to be a cornerstone of stability, then protecting seniors from tax-driven foreclosure should be a national priority. The quiet crisis is already here, unfolding one household at a time. Whether anyone listens will determine what homeownership really means for the generation that built the world we now enjoy. This has been a Quiet Echo editorial from the Cedar Valley News. I'm Teresa Nikas. Join us tomorrow as the newsroom continues guiding listeners with principle, purpose, and the steady light of quiet voices in a noisy world.
You've been listening to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where small-town voices meet the headlines shaping our world. From faith and family to front porches and fields. We'll be back with more stories connecting real lives to real events. Until next time, keep your porch light on, your faith strong, and your heart open. This is Cedar Valley News, sponsored by Readers and Writers Book Club.